We are live. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I have been talking a lot today on my Facebook page, my personal page, and my business page about what I'm seeing, and that some people are over here and then some people are over here and they feel anxious, and some people feel calm, and some people are feeling like this is really hard, and some people feel like this is no big deal. There's a lot of crazy going on. And so I realized this morning that over the course of my years of doing personal development work, have learned a lot of tools, and I've kind of plucked a lot of them. And today I want to share with you my secret weapon, my coach, Patty Lennon. She is my business coach, and we've been in a coaching relationship for about 3 years now. She knows me very, very well, and she can speak to like the big changes that I've made from doing this work. Every day, I want to bring you a tool, a miraculously realistic tool. And so Patty today is here to teach us all about how to find some calm in the storm. And she's got some really specific ways of doing that. So thank you, Patty, for taking the time out to do this today. You can't imagine how much I appreciate it.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And I just feel for those of us who are in this online space, the best thing we can do to be of service is to just pivot each day in response to whatever opportunity arises. So, I adore you, and anytime to hang out with you is awesome. So, yay.
Thanks. So what is the tool that you think most people really need to understand right now?
Well, I think the thing that I think is most helpful, especially now people are seeing, is that we have to go inward for our answers. We have to really tap into what I call our inner guidance system, which speaks to us through our intuitive gifts. And not everyone always thinks they have intuitive gifts, but everyone does. In the years past, it's been sort of this like magical woo-woo thing. But the reality is, one thing that we are being shown clearly is you have got to have tools for getting your answers from within, because out there's no consensus right now, right?
Right. There are no rules is what I keep saying.
Yeah. And that's what's making things so hard on people from a mental stress standpoint, because most people's brains operate from an idea of there's a finish line, there's steps to get to the finish line, whether the finish line is your day, a project, your kids graduating, right? And then you follow those steps and you get there, and the steps are dictated by some body out there that's been sort of crowdsourced from society, which has been wrong for us for many, many years. There was a time in our evolution where it was essential to stay safe, to have these crowdsourced rules. We have long since evolved from that, and yet we don't operate that way. Mm-hmm. And as the shift is happening on the planet, which this pandemic is part of that shift, as scary as it is, as much as it's putting so many people into crisis, and I don't say that that's not happening. There is also this gift of awareness that's coming to everyone, from slowing down, from clearing your plates, from going inward to your family. And so the tool is really just a way for you to connect to that inner voice. That's, okay, how long? It took me like 10 minutes to tell people what we were going to actually talk about. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit of a chatty Kathy. So this tool is very simple, and that is it's your breath, and it's when you use your breath. So I call it the 1-minute morning exercise. Mm-hmm. And we do this in receiving school. Jen does receiving school with me, besides being a private client. And so it's that when you get up in the morning, just understand you've reset yourself by sleeping. And if you do not take the input of others first, you will naturally connect to yourself, your own wisdom, that own intuition that you have. And so what you want to do is, when you wake up in the morning, don't reach for a device. Don't respond to the requests of the humans or animals in your home. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, just go inward by breathing 3 times. And we're going to do it together right now, because you're going to see this works anytime. It's just especially potent first thing in the morning. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to breathe in And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And in this moment, right now, you are more closer to whatever answer you need than you have been all day, just by breathing. So when you do that first thing in the morning, you have access to all the answers that are perfectly right for you, because you've had, even if you haven't gotten a great night's sleep, most likely you've gotten a few hours free from everyone else's input. That is how magnificent your brain and energetic body are. They only need a little bit of time free from all the noise to reset itself. And to them, the other piece of the 1 minute warning is to set an intention for how you want the day to be. And you can pick whatever word you want, and you can use whatever word you want to say it. So I typically pick magical. So today I want to feel magical, or today I want the day to feel magical, or today I want it to be magical. And that's the word I use a lot. Lately, I haven't been using that because a lot of times the word I picked today is based on how yesterday was. And so,
is it because you want to improve on what happened yesterday, or you want to maybe continue what happened yesterday?
That's such a good question. I think it really depends. But what I find is most of the time what I want to feel is magical. But if yesterday was chaotic, the desire that's most strong inside of me is grounded or clear or ordered, you know? So it's just sort of like, it's honoring where I'm at,
right,
rather than where I think I should be at.
So you can't really do step 2 of the 1 minute morning reset until you've done step 1, which is to check in with what you actually need and then receive that messaging or that feeling so that you know what to ask for the day.
Well, actually, I do it in the other, and then the final thing I do is to say, you know, is there anything you need or want right now? But you don't even have to go that far. But I think if you're new to this process, then really just, tapping in and feeling into what is it that you need or want is a good middle step. Thank you for that clarity, because I've been doing this so long, I lose track.
Is there anything that you notice that people in the receiving school do that kind of blocks them from doing this morning reset? Or is there any thoughts that keep them stuck about it?
No, I mean, I think there aren't thoughts that keep you stuck, but the 2 blocks is having your technology by your bed, because then your just knee-jerk reaction is to go reach for it. If people understood, I mean, I have my technology close by. Oh, I love it. I get it. I am not one of these like fruity, crunchy people that hang out in like a muumuu and clearly I dye my hair, my eyebrows. I'm not woo, like living on a farm.
Right. You're not off the grid.
Right. I mean, do I make my own milk? That would be weird. Make my own cheese and plan my food, right? Like, that's not me. But if we understood how destructive having this technology is to our well-being, I mean, so that's the one, is just move technology away from your bed, unless you have a child who works late, or like you have a legitimate need to get a call on that.
But still, it's not the first thing you need to pick up. Resist the urge to pick it up. Do the 3 deep breaths, 3 full cycles of the deep breath, and then set an intention for how you want the day to be. The reason I asked about how people might have a block around it is because I'm a big shoulder on myself. Like I should all over myself, right? Like, oh, so I should be productive today, or I should be efficient today. And those feel more shouldy than intuitive. So I'm wondering.
Oh, gotcha. So are people choosing words based on what they think they should be? So that's a good, So, well, I think, Jen, you know this stuff as well as I do now. I mean, you've been like, what would you say to that?
There's the there's your mind, there's like what your thoughts are telling you, and then there's what happens. Like when we just did those 3 breaths, it was such a different energy, right? Like it was just so internal. And it wasn't like my mind chattering away at me, which it sometimes does in the morning. But this morning when I did my 3 breaths, because I do this every morning, the breath, and then I don't reach for my phone first, and then I'll say like, what do I want today to be like? And it's fascinating. The more you practice it, the better that you get at this. Mm-hmm. And then what came into me is the word okayism. Like everything doesn't have to be perfect. And I've been really, like today I've been really talking a lot about like, we don't have to Pinterestize the apocalypse. We don't have to do it perfectly. Like there are no rules. We don't know what we're doing. And so can we be okay? What's okay for us? The other thing I'm kind of seeing is like people are starting to judge each other about the choices that they're making or whatever. And so this morning, after doing the 1 minute morning that like I learned in receiving school, it shifted my whole day. Like I knew exactly what I had to do today. I knew exactly who I had to reach out to. And I reached out to you and I was like, I want people to learn a tool from you today. So, I just was wondering if other people have told you that they let their thoughts come in versus their intuition come in.
Yeah. Well, so I've only ever taught this in the context of a bigger, teaching, right? Mm-hmm. Like inside receiving school, we teach in that context. When I teach it in a workshop, there's been a lead up to this. The reason I like offering it here, like on this is something you can do, right? There's
so doable.
Single person. I don't care if you have a newborn and a dog and a stupid husband that doesn't hear the newborn or the dog. You can still do this, right?
Right.
Like the baby will be fine for 1 minute. And I know it's hard because believe me, I was the mom with my firstborn that didn't think the baby should cry.
At all, right.
I thought that was completely unnatural. And I did everything in my power to make sure it didn't happen. So, but the context when this is taught is what we do before we even get to this point is really getting in touch with, you can be okay with your greedy self. Mm-hmm. You can be okay being selfish. Mm-hmm. You know, like even if you woke up tomorrow and you were like, you know what? I want to feel like a millionaire. Mm-hmm. Like, or maybe you're a millionaire. I want to feel like a billionaire. Whatever. That's fine. That's between you and you. Like you get to have whatever you want. So like, I think one of the gifts of this situation that we're in with the pandemic and people not being able to guarantee the result of any particular action they take, there'll probably be less of attachment to say, I want to be productive. Mm-hmm. I want to be, because like, you know what? I might just want toilet paper. That might be what lets me be successful at the market. Let me be one of the first 10.
Lower the bar.
It's lowering the bar for right?
For everything.
This ridiculousness of hyper scheduling and over productivity. Mm-hmm. It's not even a possibility. But what I will say is, yes, typically when I teach this, there's a lead up to understanding that if we pick a feeling or a word that encompasses a way of being, the reason that's so powerful is because it takes all the burden off of us to manifest specificity.
Right. So you don't have to know the hows.
Right. So if you're like, I want to feel magical, well, everything that can make today magical, the universe is going to start bringing to you. Mm-hmm. And the thing that blocks it from actually coming through the front door isn't going to kick in because you haven't triggered a part of your brain that would normally block it. And that's a little complicated. And we're actually going to be doing that on Thursday's training. So if this sounds intriguing to you, you can join us, pattylennon.com/masterclass. We're doing a training at 2 p.m. Where I'm going to teach us a little bit more, where you can tap into your intuitive self and get a little more comfortable with whatever's coming up for you. But to your point, Jen, like I think also you need to get comfortable with the fact that you were unhappy yesterday, or the fact that you were negative, or the fact that you were scared, or the fact that you were anxious, because so much of us are taught to like reject that and resist that. Like, I'm gonna think positive. I mean, I heard one person wrote, I'm not going to actually act as if there's a pandemic, because that will just bring it to my doorstep. Like,
That's powerful. You're powerful, huh?
yeah. No, actually just stay inside. That's going to help more.
So you're going to talk much more about this tool and go deeper on your masterclass tomorrow.
Okay. No, Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Okay. Today's Wednesday? Tuesday. Yeah. What the hell is today? Yeah.
Like I said, even when you texted me, I'm like,
who is this? What day is it?
What is time? I don't know. I mean, my biggest crisis right now is I live in a house of Pat fans, and just quit. The sadist. Tom Brady, if you're watching this,
you've made my life miserable.
Think of all the mothers stuck in the house with their teenage son who have only known a team with Tom Brady.
Right.
Sorry,
oh my God.
Yes. St. Patrick.
Selfish. He's so selfish.
New England. And for any of you having thoughts, I'm selfish for like wanting to peddle my small portfolio of essential oils. Look at Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
He had
ultimate in selfishness.
In the middle of a pandemic from a New England team on St. Patrick's Day when the bars were closed. He can be all of our spirit animal for selfishness for today. That's what I had to say about that.
Oh my God. Patty, thank you for sharing this tool. Even just if you just do nothing else except step 1 of that morning routine, it is such a good reset. And you can do that anywhere. Even if you've done it in the morning, you can do it again in the car before you get into the, come into the house, or before you go into your in-laws' house, or if we ever get out of our houses again. Use that first part of the tool. Oh my God. Anything else you want to share?
No, don't be afraid to be selfish, and don't be afraid to have fun. And if God forbid you find something that brings you joy in the midst of all this, like wrap your arms and legs around it and hold on and feel good about that.
Thanks, Patty. We needed this tool today. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Check out Patty's masterclass, which is happening on Thursday, the 19th, and it's totally free. And I've been working with Patty for 3 years. I can vouch that she is a master teacher, and she will break things down for you. And so you can use them right now, like just really accessible stuff. So thank you again, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.